Hi, welcome back to our channel. I'm Acorn and I'm here in Michigan today. We're going to be doing the High Country Pathway. This is where I parked over here. You can see the parking lot's kind of icy still. Today is Thursday, March 11th, 2021, and I am in the Pigeon River Country State Forest. We're going to be doing a 4-night, 5-day trip. It's somewhere between 72 and 82 miles. Every source I looked at said something different, so we'll see. I'm planning to do a little bit shorter days than I have on the last few trips. I'd like to spend some more time at camp. I have some new gear to show you guys, so hopefully we'll have time to do that. Probably going to be doing somewhere between 14 to 17 miles per day. We'll see. I don't really know how the backcountry camping is going to be. There is one shelter that I want to hit tomorrow night. It's the Canada Creek shelter. But other than that, I'm going to try to stay away from the campgrounds. So as long as you're not within a mile of a designated campground, you can camp anywhere you want. A lot of it here is actually wetland. And as you can see, there's still some snow on the ground. A lot of it is actually melted. So I don't know if it might be difficult to find dry places to camp, but we'll see. I will see what happens. So right now the temperature is about 50 degrees. And that's pretty much the high. It's also really, really windy right now, so I think it actually feels a little bit colder than that. The low that I saw is going to be around 10 degrees. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then I think Saturday it's supposed to snow because it's going to be colder. So the weather's kind of in between seasons right now, which when it's cold and raining, that can be kind of unfortunate weather, but I'm prepared for it. So yeah, it's about 9:30 right now. I had about a 4-hour drive to get here, so I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to stop tonight. This loop, it is on the hiker app, and I'm going to use that to kind of gauge my distance, I think, because it tells you how far you've gone, which is great. So yeah, we'll get started. I think the only other interesting thing to tell you, there's a really big herd of elk here. I did see some elk tracks over there already. They have like over 1,100 elk, so fingers crossed, hopefully get to see some cool wildlife. I know there's supposed to be black bears in this area. I don't know how prevalent they are. Also, it's like the very beginning of spring, so I don't know if they're just going to be waking up or what's up with that, but there's always a possibility. So yeah, let's get started. I'm pretty excited, and I'm actually, so I don't know exactly where I'm going to come out. There's this like trail log over here, but this is the shingle mill pathway. There's also a pathway over there, and I see trail signs on that side of the road. I know it's going to pop me out somewhere at this parking lot. I don't expect this trail to be super well blazed, so there's that. But I'm actually going to be doing the loop clockwise, so I'm going to walk down this road going that way and cross over the Pigeon River, which is right over there, and then just hit the trail going over that way. So okay, let's get started. You can see this is the Pigeon River I just walked from right over there. So just crossing over the Pigeon River, and then I should make a right up here. Like it should be right over here, and I should be on the High Country Pathway. Let's see. Hello. It's nice and sunny today. It's not supposed to stay like that though. Let's see. Where is the trail? I'm gonna have to check my hiker app, I think, because it shouldn't be very far. This is technically the High Country Pathway right here because there's a road walk as part of it, but should be branching off into the woods soon. I'm gonna have to check my app. Okay, so I actually passed it. It's actually right here. I came going that way. I just turned around. It's right here, right at the bridge, as soon as you cross over. And I do see a little sign down there. I guess this would be a good water source if you're not parking here. Here we go. High country pathway. Oh, it looks muddy. Okay. Oh, this is a horse trail? Oh, no horses. But cross-country skiing is okay. Okay. Alright, I'll update you when I see something cool. So far, the trail's been mostly like this. Kind of just like solid sheet of ice. There was a really long boardwalk back there that was also a solid sheet of ice, so I did my best to kind of go around it. It's a little bit slow moving when the trail's like this, and I decided not to bring my micro spikes, which now I can see that was a bad decision because I could definitely use them. So it's just kind of like melted and then refrozen, I think. But yeah, I'm glad I decided to do shorter miles on this trip because definitely not moving as fast as I'd like to. Yeah, it's not really anything to talk about so far. It's mostly just looked pretty much exactly like this. So, all right, let's keep going. So I'm pretty sure these are Bobcat Tracks. Pretty sure they're feline. This is the size. My hand is really small. They're about, that's like maybe an inch. So all the way to the toe, maybe like an inch and a half long. I think they're feline. I can't remember if it's canine or feline where you can see the claws. I don't know. I'll have to look it up when I get home. But it's something in this little sandy section. This is the trail. I don't know. We'll go look it up. Here we definitely have an elk track. Look at that. I want to see some though. Where they at? Hopefully we'll get to see some. Okay. Fingers crossed. I don't know if you can hear me, but there's been a lot of this. It's just like clear-cut forest. I guess they do some logging here. I don't know if you really see. Yeah. So I already got off trail. I was following this, blue arrow because every single trail is marked with a blue arrow. I gotta go back that way a little ways. I didn't really see a turnoff anywhere at all. There were a couple roads, so maybe there was a road walk or something with no sign. I don't know. I'll find out where I got off and I'll show you when I get back there. So, judging by how slowly my little blue dot is moving on the map, I am quite far off trail. Maybe like a mile. So, oops. Oh well. It happens. Especially with the way trails are marked here in, I guess, like all of Michigan, all of the state recreation areas at least. Every trail is marked with a blue arrow. So, interesting. The only reason I checked my map was because I saw a sign that said horses were allowed on the trail, and I didn't think they were on the high country pathway. So, okay, let's go and find out what happened, why I got off trail. I would also like to point out that this trail that I'm on, that I took as a side trail, also says pathway on it. So I guess pathway just means it's a trail, not the high country pathway. I saw those blue signs and thought I was doing okay. Oh well. Okay, I'm still not back to where I got off the trail. So let's keep going. So this is where I went wrong. I came from that way originally, and then I kept going straight. I was supposed to turn left here. Not that, this sign is super helpful. I mean, there's this little map. High country pathway is the green dot. It doesn't even say where we are right now. Like, Look at this really awful map. Okay, well, guess I'm going down that way. Looks a little bit icy. I don't know how far off trail I went. Definitely more than a mile. Not more than 2, I don't think. Maybe like a mile and a half. So, fun little 2 or 3 mile detour. Okay. So if you're parking where I parked at by the Pigeon River, I'll show you exactly where I parked actually, I think, in the video. But anyway, if you're coming that way, cross over the Pigeon River and you're going clockwise around the loop, make sure you don't miss this little sign and make a left at this sign. Okay. So I've been seeing some prints that look like this. But you can like see the claws on them. It looks like canine. It looks like it should be a dog because it's way bigger than a coyote. Unless it's like a coy wolf or something, if they have hybrids out here. I don't think they have wolves, but I don't know what kind of track this is. It's just weird because there's not like other hiker prints or anything. That's my footprint right there. But so I don't think people are like out here with their dogs, and I've seen them kind of just sporadically here and there. So I feel like it's something wild, but it looks pretty big. So I don't know what that is. I'll look it up when I get home. HCP, High Country Pathway, that way. I appreciate that sign. Okay. There's some storm clouds rolling in too. So I don't know if it might rain today, but it's okay if it does. I just pop on my rain jacket. So we're following this service road now. Try not to fall on my face. I don't know for how long. This is the trail though. I double checked, so we're good there. Is this slippery? Guess we'll find out. Oh, I see. The turnoff is right up there. Right there. Okay, I'm gonna stop filming before I fall down. So, a couple of updates. It started to rain a little bit, so I put on my Frogtog rain jacket. It's really, really nice. It keeps you super, super dry. And I also found out, because it was really windy, I was like kind of in an exposed area. It's great as a windbreaker. I was getting kind of cold from the wind, and as soon as I put on this jacket, I like don't even feel it. The only downside is that the sleeves are a little bit short because it is a youth size, but other than that, the fit is pretty good. The second thing is I just realized that my map is not in my side pocket, and I think it must have fallen out somewhere back there. I had it next to my water, so it could have been when I took out my water last. I was trying to be careful about that, but guess I wasn't. But I'm not gonna go back and get it because I've already like added more miles today, and it was probably a ways back there. I do have a picture of the map too, and I have my hiker app. The only thing that's good about the physical map is you can see like road names and the water sources and like where the campgrounds are to make sure I'm not within a mile of the campground when I make camp. And I had kind of like starred the general area where I was gonna try to make camp each night, but I have that on my phone on a picture, and this power bank I have is pretty good, the new one, so I'm just not gonna worry about that little physical map. It was like $15 or something. So anyway, it was raining more. I don't know if it's gonna rain again, but I'm gonna keep on this Frogtog jacket because it's warm and I like that it keeps the wind off of me. So that's all the updates for now. I really don't want to walk across this. Debating how wet is it really down there, because these are slippery and that one's a little bit icy. I think I'm gonna try to go around because it's awfully slanted for such a slippery bridge. I don't know, we'll see. We'll try it. I'm gonna step on it. So I'm 99% sure I'm supposed to cross the Pigeon River here. I came out right here and it just kind of ends, and I see a faint blue dot on that tree over there, and it's really hard to tell based off of my maps, but I know I have to cross it at some point. It looks like maybe they once have a bridge here. I wonder how deep it is. It looks kind of deep. I don't know, man. I feel like I need a boat. I really don't want to have to take off my shoes and socks. Oh, I just can't 100% tell if the trail is over there. I'm gonna walk over back that way and see if I see anything. Okay, so I determined I do have to cross here. I'm gonna pull out my trekking pole and see how deep it is. It's not terribly cold today. It's probably like 45. So if I take off my shoes and roll up my pants, you know, as long as I don't get my clothes wet, I think it'll be okay. I'm only like 3.5 miles away from where I need to start looking for camp tonight. And I have dry clothes in my dry bag, so it'll be unpleasant, but as long as it's not, you know, more than like hip deep, it'll be okay. So let's go find out how deep it is. So I tried to cross the Pigeon River. I just took off my pants and shoes and socks, and I went out. I got in. It wasn't too bad, and then I got out like a few steps further, and it was like past my belly button, like getting deeper. So I'm just afraid it's gonna be way too deep in the middle. If it was a little bit more shallow, I wouldn't have an issue. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I see there's like maybe a log down there. The bank is really overgrown too. I tried to explore down this way, but it's hard to stay close to the river, and it just feels like it's moving a little bit faster. It's a little bit wider down that way. I don't know what to do. I mean, in all the research that I did, I didn't see anything about having to cross the river here. So I don't know if maybe there used to be a bridge, or, I mean, it looks like something's in the works right here. So I bet they're gonna put it either back in the bridge or put in a bridge. So I don't know what to do. I might just pitch my tent over there. It's a pretty dry, flat place. I mean, it's right off of the trail, but I don't really think anybody's coming here tonight. I'm trying to think if there's any other options, because I mean, I tried to go in, but it's just too deep. I might just set up my tent and then explore around, maybe down the bank, to see if there's a way to cross. I don't know that there's gonna be, though. It's very disappointing. I mean, even if I stay here tonight, that'd make it like 17 miles to the Canada Creek shelter that I want to stay at tomorrow night, which is a perfectly doable day. I mean, there's plenty of daylight right now. I could like camp here and then just hike back around the other way and explore that area some, but I really wanted to do the whole loop. Now I kind of wish I still had my map. Maybe I can find my map if I go back tomorrow. I probably will. I don't know. I think I'm gonna set up camp here in the vicinity for now. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so it is Friday morning now. I decided that I did just camp kind of close to the river last night, and right now I'm heading back to the car. So I think my new game plan is going to be just hike back to the car today, and then depending on what time I get there, either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to drive over to a different parking area. And there's a parking area that's about a 4-mile hike in to the Canada Creek shelter. So I think I'm gonna just spend the night there. Maybe tonight, I might just sleep in my car tonight, or like pitch my tent like close to the parking area. We'll see. I don't know how long it's gonna take to drive over there too, and I have to figure out how to get there. And there's like not any cell service here. So I am hoping that I find my map on the way back today, because that'll help me figure out, you know, where to go to park. I could see it on the picture of the map I had, but it's just kind of blurry if you zoom in, so hoping I come across where I dropped it yesterday. But anyway, so game plan is to hike out tomorrow to the Canada Creek shelter and spend the night, and maybe get there early and show you guys some of the new gear that I got, and just, you know, probably hang out at camp, maybe hike around a little bit, do some exploring just in that area, since I'm not going to be able to do the whole loop. There's just no way to safely cross the Pigeon River back there, so it is what it is. But we're still gonna, you know, I asked off work and everything and drove out here, so we're still gonna spend the time, see what kind of stuff we can find out here in the woods, and I don't know, maybe build a fire at camp. We'll see. It is a fair bit colder this morning as well. My shoes were frozen when I woke up this morning, although my water that was inside my tent but not in my sleeping bag did not freeze, so probably were right around freezing. And it was really windy back at the campsite this morning, so it's pretty cold waking up, putting back on my wet socks. Thought I heard something. I'm still hoping to see some elk. I mean, I've seen lots of elk tracks, so maybe if I don't see any today, I'll have better luck on the other side of the state forest area. So we'll see, but that's the new game plan for now. It's really not going to be a very long walk back to the car. It's only like 10 miles maybe. And I'm not going to get off trail this time, hopefully. So yeah, I'll update you. Probably, I mean, I've already shown you everything on this part of the trail, but if I see something interesting, I'll update you. If not, see you when we get back to the car. So I made it back to the place where I last had my map yesterday, and I didn't see it anywhere along the trail, so I don't know where it is. I have no idea. Oh well, I'll just have to take the loss on that one, I guess. Not a big deal, but it would have been helpful for trying to figure out how to get to that parking area. But that's okay. See if I can figure it out anyway. So, yep, that's the only update I have right now. The sun is out right now, but there's some clouds rolling in, so I think it's gonna get colder later, but it's not too bad at the moment. So, yep, that's it for right now. So I've changed my plan just slightly. I was eating a snack back there, took a little break, and I was looking at my map, like Google Maps, and the picture of the map that I lost to try to figure out where the parking area is that I want to go to that's near Canada Creek Shelter. And I found it. It wasn't too difficult. And I think it's going to be about a 45-minute drive to get over there from my car. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm like maybe 2 miles away from my car right now. But I think actually what I'm going to do is just set up camp here on this side of the trail. And then, because there's a bunch of campsites around here. And I remember this really cute one right by the Pigeon River, kind of, I think maybe like a mile in from the car. So I might just pick, I mean, there's a lot of options here too, but I want to get water for tonight, for this afternoon, because it's not even, it's like 12:30 right now. So I think that's what I'm going to do, just find a nice campsite here and just hang out for the afternoon and evening, and then hike like maybe a mile out to my car, drive to the other parking lot in the morning, and then hike in the 4 miles to the shelter, and then hang out there tomorrow. So a lot of downtime on this trip, but that's okay, it'll be fun. So right now I guess I'm just going to wait till I hit the Pigeon River again so I can get water, but that's where I'm at right now. So I made it to the little campsite on the Pigeon River. This is the trail, and it's down here. It's so cute. So, it's a little fire ring. I might set up like back there. It's a little bit more hidden. And then we've got your water source right here. Luckily I don't have to swim through it this time. Look how pretty this is and peaceful. Let's go look at the river. Wow. Love that. Yep, I'm staying here today. Gonna hang out, set up my tent. Oh, I also didn't mention that I realized last night I brought my inner tent and my rainfly on this trip just because I wanted it, and I forgot I need 4 more stakes for my inner tent because I don't usually bring it, and I brought 2 extra stakes, so I'm 2 stakes short. So I've been using just like a stick. It worked okay last night. One of them had popped out by morning, but I can kind of maybe take my time, and I think the ground is a little bit softer here. I hope. It was really rooty where I set up last night, so it's hard to find a good place. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and set up my tent, hang a bear bag somewhere, and yeah, I'll show you when I get everything set up. So let me show you a little bit about my tent, since tomorrow night I'm going to be staying at the Canada Creek Shelter. That's the fire ring and the river over here. So this is, I've shown this tent before. Actually, I think the last time I showed it, it was the old version I had. It's the Gear Top brand. I think it's called the UL1 or UL2. This is also my new trekking pole, but I'll talk about my trekking poles I think tomorrow. So this is my inner tent. It's got the bug netting on top, and I actually liked the original one of these that I had because it was like a bug netting on all sides so you could see out, whereas this one, it's you can't see through the walls, which I mean it's fine because usually I have my rain fly up anyway, but it was nice to just kind of be able to peek out. So basically you just stake down the 4 corners, and it's got entrances on both sides, which is a plus, and then you just use your trekking poles to set it up like that. It's really simple, really easy to do. You can see mine has seen some use. It's really dirty. This is the same one that I lost when I was on the Appalachian Trail, where it fell out of the hole in my backpack. That's what happened to my original versions, but this is the new one that I got. So let me go ahead and put on the rain fly, see how well we can do with being 2 tent stakes short, and then I'll show you that part of it. So it's Saturday morning now. I just got all my stuff packed up and I'm heading back to the car. It should only be like a mile. It was definitely colder this morning than it was yesterday. Definitely well below freezing. My water was frozen solid and there was ice all on the inside of my tent. So when I get back to the car, turn on the heat and hopefully thaw out my water. And I guess I might be using iodine for the rest of the trip instead of my Sawyer because I don't want it to freeze. I did sleep with it last night in a Ziploc bag because I wasn't anticipating it getting colder. So I'll probably just use iodine. I'll probably only have to filter like one more time because I have like a whole liter because I filtered it before I went to bed last night, and once I thaw that out, I only have to hike. It's 4.3 to the shelter once I get to the other parking area, and then there should be a creek there. It should be Canada Creek at the shelter, so I'll probably just have to filter for just cooking purposes tonight. So that's what's going on right now. Still haven't seen any elk, but I'm still hopeful. Still seeing plenty of tracks everywhere. So maybe I'll have better luck on the other side of the forest. So we'll see. But that's what's going on this morning. The sun is shining, which is beautiful. It was supposed to rain, but it didn't. So thankful for that. And I guess I'll update you when I get back to the car then. So I made it back to the car, and look how many more people are here now. I did actually pass one hiker on the way out, like just a little bit ago. So I hope it's not crowded at the Canada Creek shelter. I think there's only 4 bunks there. I hope nobody's there, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna lighten up my pack a little bit, take out some of the trash, food I don't need. Might leave my tent in the car. We'll see. And then drive on over to the other parking area and hike in and hopefully claim a space at the shelter. So, alright, I'll update you in a little bit. So I'm here. I don't really know if this is the parking area. I'm probably allowed to park here. I mean, it's kind of off the road. It's like a little roundabout, but I'm like not in the way. The high country pathway is literally like right there. Yeah, it was kind of a very bumpy, slushy, icy, muddy off-roading experience to get here, but I'm really impressed with the old Subaru Forester. Desi did a really, really great job on all of it. So that's good. Maybe I'll be a little bit more confident to go explore some other places that maybe involve a little bit of light off-roading. So yeah, it is 11:30 now. It took me about 45 minutes to get over here. It wasn't that far, but it's just like with the way the roads are, you can't go more than like 25. So yeah, I'm gonna hop out. I'm hoping actually that maybe the shelter won't be crowded because this parking area is not super easily accessible. And I mean, there's other parking areas kind of further away, so hopefully I'll have the shelter to myself. And I think I'm just gonna leave my tent here in the car, which is not something I would usually do, hike without some kind of rain shelter, but it's only 4 miles, and if I get to the shelter and it's full, I'll just turn around and come back to my car. Like, it's not that far in, so I'm just gonna take the chance and leave it here because I really don't think I need it, and I don't want to carry the extra weight, especially since it's wet now, so it's heavier than its regular base weight. So yeah, let's hop out and head down to the Canada Creek shelter. I do appreciate the blazing in this section. You can see they got the blue arrow, because I feel like this part's not that well traveled. It's kind of hard to tell where the trail is sometimes, so I do appreciate the blazes here. It's the first time they've really had like true blazing. They've had signposts and stuff, but not on like trees and whatnot, so that's good. It's pretty warm right now. It's about 40 and it's sunny, so it feels like excellent hiking weather. And I do like this little forest. It's just kind of pretty. So I crossed the road over there, and then there's this big downed tree, and I saw this one blaze over here, and I think the trail actually goes this way, which I'm glad that they had that blaze there, and I'm glad I have my hiker out, because, oh yeah, this is the trail. Otherwise, I would have been real confused. Just gotta get over some of these down trees. Look. Okay. Oh, there's some more. Big old down tree. Right there. Okay, I still like this forest though. There's less like clear cutting than there was on the other side. It's more just like natural growth. There's a lot of downed trees, but I think that's just because of the area. Probably the harsh winters that they get here. This is kind of cool. Don't mind me. Just gonna go under here. Oh goodness. There's a lot of down trees. Oh my. Okay. Well, I'm gonna find a way around all this. Wow, I hope it's like not like this the whole way. That's straight that way. That's the trail. It's like a little obstacle course. I think it's just this one little section. I don't know why all these trees are blown over here, but okay. Let's get through it. I really like this section with the moss and the boardwalk going this way. And I can smell all the pine trees. There's a bunch of little babies growing. A little bit of snow. There's a little bit of ice, but it's not like solid ice, so I can go around it. It's not been an issue so far. And the temperature is great. It's a little bit chillier in here in the forest area, but there's still sun shining, so it's not too cold. This is really nice. Big fan. So this is pretty cool. We have an elk track right next to a deer track, so you can kind of see the difference in size there. This one maybe like 3 inches long. That's like maybe 1.5 inches, so almost double the size. It's pretty cool. I've been seeing a lot of both elk and deer scat as well, so all good signs. I'm still quite hopeful that we will see some actual elk, hopefully by the end of the trip. So, gonna keep our eyes peeled. I like this section too. I think I'm getting close to the shelter. It is a little bit difficult to stay on trail through here. Right here it's pretty obvious, but I got off a couple times and had to use my app to get back on. There's some blazing. It's not great. It's still easy to get off trail, but it is nice to have those few markers to know that you're on the right path. That is elk scat. It's too big for deer. So this is kind of pretty. I almost feel like it's like almost mountainous, but not really. Little hills. It feels really nice out. It's not crazy cold. It's a little bit windy out here, but the sun feels good. It's probably about 50 again, I would say. Here's the Canada Creek shelter. Look at how cute it is. That must be the Canada Creek down there. I'm gonna fill up water. Look at how cute their little picnic table and fire ring. Look at that. I might build a fire tonight. Let's see. This nice little bridge. Look at how cute this is. Picnic table. Ooh, is the creek dry? Or is it further down? I'll have to figure out where the water is, because I definitely need to get water. And here's the shelter. Let's take a look inside. It's weird, it locks from the outside. I guess so the door doesn't pop open. Oh, they have a trail log and a book. They have 4 bunks. Cute. Let me close the door. Come here. I don't know what that is. They've got... Oh, somebody was here yesterday. I guess they didn't stay here. What is this? Winter of the Wolf Moon. Huh. Well, I know I want the bottom bunk. It's a big rock. I wonder if there's mice in here. I want this bunk on this side. I guess you can ride your bike here. I saw some bike tracks back there. So, interesting. Let's go ahead and set up our sleeping arrangements and then hunt down a water source and might eat some food. It's about 2 o'clock right now. I think it was more than 4.3 miles. I can check my app and see exactly how far it was, but this is really cute. So, nice. So here's the creek. It's actually just halfway down the bridge. Although I think I probably have to walk down this side to get to the water. So I'm gonna grab a liter really quick to filter. But this is actually kind of pretty. I like just almost feel like I'm in the mountains. Almost, not quite. But the sun feels good, the wind is cold. So, yep, let's go get some water. And then I'll show you in a little bit some of my new gear. I got a new headlamp, I'll show you my trekking poles, and I have a new, I have Kathleen's old quilt that I'm using, so I'll tell you all about that in a little bit. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about my new gear. So I have coordinating trekking poles and headlamp. They're both really pretty color. But let's talk about the headlamp first. So the other one I had, I think we just got it from like a hardware store or something, and it was okay. I mean, I had it with me on the AT and some other longer hikes, but It didn't do so well in cold, and the battery would die pretty quickly even when I wasn't really using it, like when it was just off in my pack. So it was time for a new one, and this is the Black Diamond Spot 325, I believe it is. And this is kind of like a mid-grade headlamp. It runs at about $39, so I think you get a lot of bang for your buck with this one. I don't know all the features that it has, and it's probably hard to show you during daylight, but one of my favorite things is that if you hold down the top two buttons, it'll actually lock it so it won't come on while it's in your pack. And it's got your red light to keep your night vision, and it's got a dimmer on it. If you just hold down the power button, it'll actually dim it, and then you can tap the side of it to make it come back to its brightest setting. So I honestly have barely used it on this trip, but it's supposed to do really, really well down to like -20 or something like that, -17 Fahrenheit, and it can get wet, so it's good in wet and cold conditions. And on the low power setting, it lasts for a really long time. I don't remember how long, but I'll put the stats on there for you. So I don't know if it's true because I haven't gone on a long enough hike with it yet, but I mean, so far it seems really nice. I'm pretty excited about it. And like I said, I like the color. So that's one new piece of gear. And then my next new piece of gear are my trekking poles. These are Mountainsmith brand. I'm not exactly sure which model. I can put it on the screen as well. I don't really remember. But it took me a really long time to find a good trekking pole. I had my Leckies, and one of them, someone who shall not be named, still has it, somebody I hiked with, and the other one, this part came off of it, and actually the same person who has my other trekking pole replaced it and fixed it for me, but then it got to the point where I couldn't extend it long enough. It would just get stuck, so that was not good. I remember the last time I was out, back in December, I was trying to set up my tarp because I used my trekking pole to set up my tarp, and I like couldn't get it to extend, and so I had just this like really like not tight tarp, like really saggy, because I couldn't extend it tall enough. So I needed new trekking poles. I don't hike with them unless I'm maybe crossing a creek or something. So really the things that I was looking for is something that packs down really small. These are the Z-fold, which I really like that style, and I needed it to be as light as possible. Obviously I needed it to extend far enough to be able to set up my tent, but also short enough that someone who's 5 foot can use it as an actual trekking pole when I need to. So basically it works the same as any of the other ones that are this style. Actually, you should put the bottom piece in first, but you just put it together just like that, lock it into place, and then you actually pull down until this little notch clicks out. And then, so this is as short as it goes, which it's probably like 1.5 to 2 inches too tall for if I was actually hiking with them, what my preference would be. But if I'm using it to cross a creek, it doesn't matter if they're kind of tall. And if I ever do, hopefully I want to do some snowshoeing next winter, a little bit taller is not a big deal in snowy or conditions or in the middle of a creek. So that was an okay compromise for me. These were less expensive than like a Lecky or a Black Diamond, but the quality is not as good. I don't think I would use it if I wanted to use this every day to hike with. I don't think I would get this pole, but they're fairly lightweight. They're about a pound, I want to say. So there were some out there that were a lot lighter than that I liked, but they didn't extend far enough to set up my tent, or they wouldn't go short enough to be able to use. So this was the best one that I found. I also really liked the color on this one too. I think they're pretty. I ordered them from REI, and so far they've done a great job. You know, I've only used it the last 2 nights for my tent, and they're pretty sturdy. So they're pretty easy to break down. Oh, you can extend it also this way more, which is important when setting up your tent if you have one like mine. But I was kind of worried if I was really cold, I might have a hard time like pushing in the button and like collapsing it back down. But if you just pull it out a little bit and then push it in, I haven't had an issue, and it's been pretty cold these last 2 mornings. Like I couldn't feel my hands and I was still able to do it. So, and I love that they just pack down and fit right in the back of my pack, so I don't have this big giant pole sticking up like I did with my Lecky. And it came with these little straps. I'm probably going to lose them at some point, but for now I still have them, so it's nice to kind of hold it together. And then I'll show you the other new piece of gear that I have. So this, and I actually have it drying out in the sun because it got a little bit damp from all the ice last night. But this is Kathleen's old quilt. It's a 0 degree. It's from Outdoor Equipment, UGQ. It is pretty warm. I'd say I've been decently warm the last 2 nights with my liner, and I also wore like a wool underlayer on my legs because my legs get cold at night, and it does pretty good. The only thing I don't like about this one, it's pretty narrow compared to other quilts that I've used before. I think because she's also very small, so I think when it was ordered they probably got like the slim size or like the skinniest one. It does fit around me, like I can tuck it under me, but just barely. I can sleep on my side, on my stomach, on my back, whatever I want with this quilt, but it's like just barely able to tuck under me. Like I have to be really careful if I'm moving around at night. So I like it for now. I don't know if I'd like it in really, really cold conditions. It was probably in the 20s last night and the night before, if I had to guess. Definitely below freezing, and I did okay. I wasn't super warm though. I would wake up and my legs were cold, and I'd have to, make sure everything was tucked under me as it was supposed to be. And I was like just okay. I wasn't comfortable, I'll put it that way. I didn't really feel that much warmer than my 15 degree Big Agnes sleeping bag that I use, but this one is much lighter to carry. It's like a pound. And my sleeping bag was maybe it's like a pound and a half, but it's definitely ultralight compared to my sleeping bag that was like 3.5 pounds. And this one's a 0 degree, that one was 15. So I would give this one maybe like a B-. I think I'm gonna stick with it for now just because I don't want to buy another one, and it's about to be summer, so I don't know. I might see how it does this winter. I feel like I'd be kind of wary to take it out in really cold conditions because I don't feel like it's securely around me, keeping in my heat. So I don't know. I'm still undecided on this one. We'll see how it does in the shelter tonight because it'll probably be colder in there than it has been in my tent. Although I won't have all the condensation and like ice forming on the outside of it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's really, I have a few pieces of clothing. Like I said, I got wool pants. Got like a new buff. It's a thermal buff. I haven't really needed that too much. But those are the 3 main pieces of new gear that I have right now. So, and all of them are blue. And just like my jacket. So, okay. That's it for gear for right now, I think. So I decided I'm going to build us a little afternoon fire, hopefully. Shouldn't be too hard. Most of this has been pretty dried out from the sun today, so let's get started. I'm going to see if I can maybe film it while I do it. We'll see. I might need 2 hands. So this I brought from home. It's dryer lint. I'm going to use it as my fire starter. Honestly though, there's a lot of stuff out here that you could use as a natural fire starter or a tinder. There's all kinds of like fluffy grasses, and a little ways back on the trail I think I saw birch bark. At least it looked like birch bark, and it probably would do just about the same thing. So I'm going to take some of this lint. Let's see here. It's probably more than I need. Okay. So just about yay much, and then Let me see if I can. Yeah. So then you just kind of want to like fluff it up as much as you can. Basically, anything you find that you can make kind of fluffy that's going to ignite really fast, you can use as a fire starter. But dryer lint is one of my faves because it's free, it doesn't weigh anything, and it's, you know, fairly environmentally friendly. So I'm going to put him down here first, and then I'm going to put my little pile of baby sticks. And these are all very dry. Just going to kind of put it around him. Make sure there's plenty of air pockets and whatnot. Just kind of want yourself a little pile going on. And you can light the dryer lint first, but I don't think I need to. Let's see. Put this away. Still very windy, so I'm going to light him. Maybe away from the wind. Hope the wind doesn't blow out my fire. Basically, I want these little baby sticks to catch. There we go. Okay, well. So it's now Sunday morning. I'm headed back to the car, that 4.5 mile walk, and I got up a little bit later than I intended today, specifically 1 hour later than I intended because I forgot the time changed, so it's not a big deal. It's a short walk, and I only have like about a 4-hour drive, so have plenty of daylight for that. I'd rather not drive in the dark. So that's what's happening right now. Still haven't seen any elk, but maybe in these last 4 miles I'll get to see some. So I'm going to try to be extra quiet to make sure that I don't scare them off if they are in the vicinity. So that's what's happening this morning. I just saw some elk. I saw 2 of them. Let's see if I can get closer. Oh, and there's an owl over there. It's the second one I've seen. I don't think you can see it. Shoot. I could just see them through the trees. Oh man. I think they're gonna be gone before I get over there. This is just a muddy spot. Jeez. They're definitely going to be gone. They were definitely elk though. It was too big for deer. Man, I barely could see them. Let me cross over this. So I went off trail a little bit to try and see if I could find those two elk, and I found this. It's like a hide. It's so weird. Can you hunt here? I mean, certainly not this time of year. Look at that. Just out here in the middle of nowhere. Just happened to stumble across it. I don't see any elk though. They were kind of heading the other way. They were moving fast. I think they heard me and I scared them. I really didn't get a very good look at them. It was very brief. Just enough to identify what they were. Well, at least I can say I saw some. Barely. Okay, well, maybe we'll see some more in the last couple miles. And here we've got some wild turkey prints. These always look so funny to me. Like arrows. Where did it go? I feel like those weren't there yesterday. I might not have noticed them. It's possible. Go on this way. And he probably went off into the woods. I just saw two more elk. Okay. I bet they're long gone. I got a better look at them. I saw them before they heard me. They're big. Where did they go? It's right over here. Right over here. It's dead silent now. They're so elusive. I'm gonna get a video of one. Maybe if I can catch one out in the open, if I'm quick. Okay. So I made it back to the car. It's about 11 o'clock right now, so it took me like an hour and a half to get back, but I was kind of taking my time looking at some tracks, and I was trying to find those elk. I'd say it was a pretty good trip overall. Definitely not at all what I planned, but it was still a lot of fun. Still saw a lot of really cool stuff. I'm glad that I did get to see some elk, even if it was from a distance, very briefly, twice. But at least I can say that I saw them. Unfortunately, I don't have any video. Who knows, maybe on the drive out I'll come across some. But yeah, overall, pretty good. I think I would like to come back. Maybe in the summer, or also maybe in the middle of winter. Could be fun, and explore some other areas on the high country pathway and maybe eventually do the whole loop. But we'll see. It's kind of a far drive. It is about 4 hours. I wish, you know, it was a little bit closer to home, but it's a big area and there's a lot of good wildlife up here. There is also just a lot of logging and like human disturbance out here. It feels wild, but at the same time it's not very isolated. It's not very like remote. And there's just so much like human evidence all around. So that part I don't love. Just, you know, for aesthetic reasons. But overall, I think, you know, it's a pretty nice place. I'd recommend coming out here. Just do your research on your river fords if you're going to do the high country pathway. I'm thinking that maybe it's really high right now because there's probably just a whole bunch of snow melt recently. So maybe in the summer it's more crossable. I don't know. I might come back and find out. But yeah, overall, really nice place. Better blaze than I thought it would be. It is still, it's kind of frustrating when all of the trails are blazed the same because it's kind of hard to tell which trail you're on. But if you know you're in an area where there's just the one trail, then the blazing is pretty helpful. So there was a lot of like obstacles, down trees. All the footbridges were in pretty good shape though. I was impressed by that, but definitely it's the beginning of a new hiking season because there's definitely need for a lot of trail maintenance out here. But that's to be expected, you know, right at the end of winter. So yeah, overall, great trip. I think maybe my next one I might try to go up to the UP now that it's a little bit warmer. The Upper Peninsula. I don't know if I'll be able to take that many days off work because it is like a 7 to 9 hour drive to get up there. So I don't know, we'll see. But I've got some more trips in the works, and yeah, I can't wait till the next one.